New England.
Threw it down.
Dynasty is over.
It's done.
Deflate gate. Can't hate straight.
Yes! Yes! Oh! It's good. It's good. It's good.
Made it. We made it.
Beat the Super Bowl champion.
Over. Dynasty is over.
In New England.
Hoodie is done.
And they did it without even all their starters.
Son. I'd have to say that was a very enjoyable preseason game to watch.
I watched it. I thought it was a good game.
Yeah. A lot of what you like to see.
It was well played, balanced, fundamental.
My biggest takeaway was in the post-game press conference, I don't know if Rodgers was trolling McCarthy, but he was kind of brisk is the right term, or McCarthy-esque, and not too much patient with the media, and had a lot of teeth clicks. Maybe I didn't notice Roger doing the teeth click thing.
I don't think he has before.
But in this press conference, he did. And Rodgers he's got a fairly developed sense of humor. Let's watch for it. It's not something I may have had sprung a false alarm. I don't really know, but let's watch because he may be trolling Mike.
That's exciting. I would support that.
Absolutely.
Inner team.
Like Jolius, like when he said Jolius.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, that was green and gold today. I mean, if he's doing it during a press conference, I like it. I like it either way.
Trolling.
Here's to you, A-Rod.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
cheers to getting the first preseason game in the books.
In the books, baby.
Yeah, here we go.
It truly, this is a deep team, so it was it was fun to watch. I had a good time, and just getting to check out what some of these bubble guys got going on, and there was a lot to like, a lot to enjoy about
Seeing the method of the madness of who was in and when, and what the rotations were, and how it responded, and there was a lot to look forward to. I kind of mentioned that it seemed like, as someone who might be in any situation, essentially a starter, at least with one of the starting units, Dayton Jones, he was in for an awful long time. Did well, but I mean, it's not regularly. There's a lot to be decided on him, so they wanted to see him a lot. But he was in there quite a bit. What did you think?
Dayton specifically, man, that was like, it was in the third quarter. It was against, what's his name? Janine Garofalo.
Jimmy Garofalo.
Janine, dude.
Is it the same last name?
I don't fucking know.
It's almost.
So he's technically, he's the Patriots starter. Like, in a sense.
For 4 weeks, yeah.
Good old Tom, low air, don't care, was in there for a little bit, but yeah, this was, they played a lot.
Belichick playing smoke screens in preseason game with that he's not going to start,
Oh my God.
Continue.
Belichick smoke screen is in mid-season form.
Yeah.
So, third quarter, Jimmy G is in there, and
she had some good stuff in Saturday Night Live. Sorry, continue.
So the Packers started kind of racking up some sacks. I don't know what string of O-line Patriots were working with, and they got their work cut out for them to try to start 4 games with this guy in there and still contend, which they inevitably will. But it was the third quarter of a preseason game. And Dayton Jones is in there, a former number 1 first-round draft pick, and he gets a sack, and he's out there celebrating like it's the fucking playoffs, man. Holy shit.
Which also, I don't even think he got first contact. I mean, the guy kind of, who was it, came in, he was doing the...
Oh my goodness, man. Act like you've been there before. That was humiliating.
Yeah.
Dude, was there another first-round draft pick on the field who wasn't a rookie at that time? Like, what the fuck? I didn't like it, but there's a lot to like. I mean, and we're pulling for Dayton around here, of course, but man, that kind of I don't know. Maybe get it out now. Get it out in the preseason.
Yeah. So no brownie points are not indicative of that kind of over attitude, because also it's not like you're a guy that is secured in his position having fun and kind of almost goofing off. It's kind of,
Well, and it's got to be fun to actually get out there against another team again, too. But, our man, Vic Ketchman of Packers.com, will put you in your place if you get the least bit excited.
Totally
or
objective.
discouraged. Oh, dude, Mr. Objective. Hey. So, you read Vic? You familiar with Vic's work? You guys know Vic's work? By the way, I'm Matty Day. This is Tommy Burns.
I'm Tommy Burns. That's Matty Day.
We didn't say our names at all in last week's episode. So I'm reading Vic Ketchman, and if you ever read Vic during the regular season, the second the fans start to get worried or excited, Vic kind of puts them in their place and just says, no, the only football that matters is the January brand of football. So if that's his attitude toward regular season, you can only imagine what he has to say about
which is
preseason.
Perhaps just a clever diffusal tool to evade any criticism that would happen throughout the regular season.
That's what I'm saying, man.
A company man.
If you're a fucking player, how do you feel about it if someone's out there going, oh, but those 16 games don't matter? Yeah. Holy shit. I agree with you. I think it's a bit of it's almost like a defense mechanism type thing. Yeah. And to that I say, grow a dick, Vic.
And that Buffalo game sure as shit mattered.
Yeah, man. Anyway, Vic also had a question about, and this is going to be more than just ask Vic.
Oh, man.
Criticism. But he also got a question about the Packers' offensive line, and he so cleverly answered, the depth is deep.
That's deep.
Dude. Oh. Fucking, yeah, man.
It's like K-19 deep.
So I took a little umbrage with that, and I mean, it goes on. There's a much bigger discussion to have here about whether or not Vic Ketchman actually watches Packers football. But I'm watching this first preseason game, and I'm seeing David Bakhtiari getting wheeled around. Pretty bad, man.
Yep.
And I'm not panicking about Bakhtiari. He also sat out the next day or two with a knee injury in practice. So whatever. And he's been really good, so we'll take that. But man, do you remember going into last year? Don Barclay was coming off of a season starting at right tackle, or most of a season at least, and it felt like the Packers had some fucking depth, especially at the tackle position. And you're getting Treader in there, and just some of these other cats back. Yep. It felt like a deep O-line. And then obviously Barclay got injured last year. It felt like, oh shit, where'd that depth go? This year, getting Barclay back, I thought was just great. They, they brought him back on is it a 1-year deal? And they could have let him go. They brought him back. Am I right on that? Was he a free agent going into this year? They tendered him. So, assuming whatever, he's on the team. Should be a really great thing. Should be awesome for depth. But man, oh man, Don Barclay, not looking swell out there. Had a really bad hold against a backup dude.
One string, yeah.
And yeah, so we'll see. I mean, it's just a kind of minor or major storyline. Bringing back the 5 starters from the offensive line last year,
which is a luxury.
Oh, totally. You should feel so good about going into it. So just to kind of see that stuff, it just kind of raised a couple flags.
Yes. Well, it was such a almost mini miracle about Bakhtiari coming in later round draft pick, becoming a left tackle, the hardest offensive line position, and performing quite well. Let's see the 5-year plan. I'm super excited, and how everything goes down. It's all in the books, but it's something else. But it is the preseason. We got a little excited earlier. There's a lot to go, and there's a lot of planning that goes into it, and we'll kind of see now. Number 2, it's a second AFC opponent in Pittsburgh coming up on Sunday, so it's a little bit more of that regular schedule season. And this week, Ted and Mike talked to the media about just game planning, and the questions were asked about who plays how much and when, and how all that goes down. And to Mike, it's very much about schedule. First, let me foray into we've been seeing a lot of the news about joint practices and the fights that happen and everything. And there was another colorful story anecdote shared by Ted, which if you haven't heard it, go and watch it.
This was it Cowboys Rams did a shared.
They did
practice.
one. There was a big brawl of Titans and someone else, which was like a complete melee. There's been a lot of a lot of teams do it, and Ted and Mike both reminisced on some of their previous experience with joint practices.
But Packers never do this,
and they won't. They both kind of give their reasons and some stories, both in their own different flavors and everything. But for Mike, one of the big reasons is scheduling. He's very big into scheduling, and we've seen that throughout the time. And one of his big things is we're not going to leave Green Bay for training camp, and teams want to do one here, one there, and he's not going to leave here and do there. And Mike, if one thing is very, which I'm very poor at least hard scheduling. There is always rhyme to his reason. He is always making decisions for very specific reasons about what happens when throughout the course of a week, throughout the course of a season, throughout the course of a day, and what goes down. And he mentioned, alluding to who was going to play this week because it fell on a Sunday and it was relative to the amount of time put in. And, it just kind of got me thinking about Mike as man. Does that translate to other parts of his life? Does he plan when did he eat? When does he sleep? If he sleeps? When does he husk?
Husk?
P and the V? Birds and the bees?
Oh.
And many other things. It's it's Mike. It's just spitballing here.
Dang.
But it's something that necessarily doesn't come off. But it's a very fascinating thing. So I got a little distracted with images in my head about Mike and his plan for preseason here. But it's go back and watch it for yourself. It's pretty exciting.
That interview from today.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see. I heard there was another great story time with Uncle Ted moment.
And they teased that, which is Thursday, August 20th, they are going to make announcements on the redevelopment plan. So watch out for that.
Ooh.
We know our feelings about that and some of the things they've done, but watch out for that because news will come, which they've been playing coy this entire time. So
yeah.
It will be a big talker about what they're going to go on, and I'm excited to hear about it.
You excited for this second preseason game?
Absolutely.
Do you have any other notes on the Patriots? Because I got one more.
Do.
I noticed coming out of a commercial in that stadium, they're playing Rebel Rebel by David Bowie. I think that may have been when Tom Brady was like done playing too. Like that may have been his like walk-off song.
Rebel, rebel,
dude.
On your soul.
There's a bit more. There's some really like self-conscious like studio or stadium song choice going on these days. What was the one? Geno Smith got played some song in Detroit.
Yeah. And I thought we talked about last week about very conscious songs decisions being played. Shit, what was that in regards to?
You the listener?
We'll come up with it. We'll remember it. But it's there's again some trolling going on with music being played, or subliminal.
Yeah. Sublime songs.
Secret messages.
That's all I had on. That was my last bit on that fucking awesome Patriots lost to the Packers.
He has so much time in the pocket, dude. It didn't even seem like the defensive linemen were trying.
So we got coming up the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got
Mikey going home.
Yeah, man. Little return trip for our grizzled coach of a man.
Yes.
It's kind of wild. The Pittsburgh has played 2 preseason games to our 1, so this is their third game. Historically, this is when teams play most of their starters, and this could be pretty cool to watch. You know, if you're getting their game 3 to our game 2, you know, we're going to see their starters against some of our backups. Some of our backups really might get some good experience here.
And I'm a big fan of Tomlin. I just kind of like him.
Omar Epps.
I was going to say, I love the movie Juice. Again, I just want to knock on wood, so I don't even want to mention to it, but as you just keep your eye on the rest of the NFC North, there were some substantive changes to the roster as far as health and those concerns go, to an already detrimented offensive line in Minnesota and to much-needed wide receiver help in Chicago. So, again, knock on wood, it's nothing that I'm saying I'm hoping for, and I like Teddy over there in Minnesota, regardless of what it means for us. I mean, it's just, I kind of like the guy, but between him and...
Sucks, doesn't it? I feel the same way. I mean, we've been blessed with some just easily hateable NFC North quarterbacks for a really long time.
Teddy's all right.
Yeah.
And Phil Loadhall had an Achilles tear, which is a season ender. And
who got hurt in Chicago?
Miles White.
Miles White? No, that's our dude.
What is it? It's White.
Really?
Their first round draft pick, 7th overall draft pick.
Oh shit, that dude?
Yes.
What happened?
He's got a shin fracture. He's going to have surgery, and it's probably, he could come back, but there is a possibility of it being a season ender.
Wow. How do you bring a rookie back like that late in the year, too? I mean, how could you... Man, that's probably a lost season.
And at what point of the season will they be when he comes back? So it's...
Yeah,
it's a scary time. It's something I don't like to talk about because...
Dude,
it could
anytime,
just as easily be us.
Anytime you see one of those players going down on the field preseason... I think Adrian Hubbard went down for a minute last week. He came back in the game, so that's great. But... yeah, man, it's looking like pretty still NFC North. The chatter is all about the cheddar, if you will. We're still a little bit worried about Minnesota. If you'll recall, when they announced the schedule, I picked the Packers' only loss of the 2015 season to the Vikings, last game of the season. So I'm a little worried.
Which, depending on the circumstances. But then there's been a lot of talk now out of Detroit. I don't even remember the running back out of Nebraska, I believe Abdullah something or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a passing comment, not comparing him to, but a passing comment that his speed was like Barry. And
oh, like no one's ever said that about a
Yes.
Lions dude before.
And
What's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing? Good. And you know, Stafford and Calvin now Fairley and Sue are gone, so we'll see what happens in Lions. And there is a lot of discontent or a lot of brewing distaste with Stafford that
Really?
he's ever since he came in, he's been anointed. He hasn't been the come early, stay late guy. He's essentially lazy, and he is serviceable or a regular season quarterback, but for that next level, he's not going to be there. And again, there's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother show, and we'll see how it pans out this season.
Yeah.
But over the last course of the season, you can see that, yes, some fantastic games and perhaps serviceable in fantasy situations, but when it comes down to January and February...
Vic starts watching football.
That's really what matters.
That's really what matters.
So,
But hey, man, fuck that shit. I'm so pumped for this fucking Super Bowl 45 rematch this weekend. Come on, Tomlin. Try us again.
Yeah?
This one, I'm more pumped about this one than XLV.
it's just so big. I mean, you have Big Ben, who just wants to win another one, and you have
Another
us.
court case?
You have us after last year, and now it's them.
Head to head in Pittsburgh, Heinz Field, toe to toe. Brought to you by Geico.
Hey,
Pretty
Chase. Well, all right. we'll see what happens this Saturday, Sunday, this
Yeah.
weekend.
Oh, but you just see more of these young guys playing. That's what's exciting. And it is fun because
I dig it, man. It's fun to watch some of these cats and hang
and
hopes.
Sunday football.
Yeah, man. What
A
concept?
1 o'clock. I think it's.
It is Sunday? Shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Like midday, like straight up one of our
Wow.
beautiful midday Sunday games.
Crazy.
There may be an edit here, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure that whether or not we edit
No,
this,
I'm gonna stick to it.
I'm gonna stick to it. Why, Tommy? Why would you stick to this? It's not like there's any cuts here or anything. One might even say that this whole thing is being filmed live.
From
Stadium
Drive.
Yeah.
Oh! If you or anyone you know has information about this, oh wait, that's the Unsolved Mysteries song.